Hello everyone, my name's Croatia.TheMan, and you probably don't recognize this face. I'm the person who's been making all those Countryballs videos. 2022, 2018, 2030, so forth, you get it. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make your own. Why? Well, a lot of you have been asking for it, and sure, why not? As long as you don't take away my views. But however, just before we get into it, I just want to mention a few things. First of all, about the face reveal. This is what you're gonna get. About a month ago I said if I get to 10k by the end of the year, I'll do a face reveal. This is it. Kind of. I'm not taking off the mask, at least not for the time being, so, you know, pandemic and all that, so what you gonna do? And secondly, I do apologize for the sound in terms of a microphone and everything. I'm still working all that out. I'm still adjusting and working all that out and all the specifications, so apologies. So, anyway, what you're going to want to do is make a folder on your computer, like so, and just make folders from Group A to H, depending on what World Cup you're doing and how many teams will fit in. For example, if you're doing the World Cup 2022, you're going to have from Group A to Group H, and of course the knockout round, so forth. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is pick who actually qualifies from the World Cup, which is a good question. Of course, you have your 6 confederations from football, so UEFA, CONMEBOL, CONCACAF, OFC, AFC, and CAF, from Europe, South America, from each continent. So what you're going to want to do is pick, but I don't pick. I have analytics which, you know, should provide which teams should qualify and which ones shouldn't. And it's a long process and we're not getting into that in this video. But we can get into another video, but for the time being this is just the simplest way. So what you're going to want to do is just go onto Wikipedia, look up whatever World Cup you're searching for. Now obviously if it's one of the more further ones, you can't even use the analytics that I'd use because it's just too far away. That the footballers are just simply not even born yet, so it's hard to use any type of analytics. So what you're going to want to do is go onto the Wikipedia page for the World Cup that you want to do. So for example, for this video I'm just going to use 2022 as an example. Then we go down to qualification, and now here in qualification it tells you exactly how many teams go through from each single confederation. So for example, Europe 13, North America 3.5, etc, etc. Now here it says AFC Asia 4.5, not including host nation. So it's Qatar and another 4 and one more that goes into the playoffs. Now, there's one important thing that you have to remember. Australia is an AFC, the Asian Federation, simply because they're too overpowered in their Oceanic Federation. So, what you can do to make the qualification process a little easier is just get a world map like this and then fill in the color. Now if you're asking what program I'm using, this is going to be important for the next part too, with all the visualizations and all the actual country balls. And the program I'm using is Paint.net. It's a very simple program, it's free, you can just download it, there's no hassle, it's one of the simplest things you can have on your computer. So once you've picked your countries, if you just randomly fill them in, so whichever one you want, it doesn't matter what countries you pick. So also the countries I've picked here for this video, don't look too much into it because I just picked them at random. Not at random, but you know, it's not important. I didn't use any analytics. I just put in countries and, you know, this is just a test video, right? That's all this is, just to show you how to make your own. So as you can see here, you have your North, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and the 2 playoffs, Korea, New Zealand. Again, don't look too much into it, it's just a test. So, when you go back into your folder, and now I have a whole list, you're gonna write that down. It's probably easier to just write it down on a notepad. Again, just a simple program. And you just write it down, you just write all the countries that you have. The next important thing are the pots. The places where the position of the coefficient rankings from FIFA, or however they're going to use it for the next ones, put them into groups. The 8 groups that they have. So you're going to divide all your teams that you have into 4 pots. Now again, there's another analytics and another whole process behind this, but that's not that important for this video. So again, what you're going to want to do is just open up another world map in Paint with all the teams that you've chosen and just designate them each 4 pots based on which teams are better than others. Again, this is just a test, so don't look too much into it. So again, here I have a list. Remember that the host always comes in pot 1. Now again, it depends what World Cup you're doing and who are the hosts, and if there's multiple hosts and other stuff, it might be a different rule, but for the time being, Qatar's in pot 1 because they're the hosts of the next World Cup, and you have all the way from pot 1 to pot 4. So what I've done now is I've gone onto WheelDecide.com, just another free website where you can put in all of the options, and just it's the fairest way to create your groups. Now of course, always remember that Qatar, as they are in pot 1 and they're the host, they always have to be the opening match, so they're in group A automatically. So then, you know, we can just go Belgium's in group B. So you type in Belgium group B. Then of course you take Belgium away from the list, press apply wheel changes, and you just do it again and again and again until you've gotten all of it. So France is in group C. France is in group C. And that's all you really need to do. Now I'm not going to make the groups because that would just take a lot of time. So I'm just going to take 2 teams. For example, most likely I'll just put Croatia and Serbia and show you how I make the actual visualization of the country balls. Okay, so now for the visualization, to actually make the video look good. So what you're going to want to do is, of course, get your country balls. So for example, here I have the Croatian and the Serbian one, just for an example. Now, how to make one, I have a template here, but I'd rather you not use it. Just make your own. Just draw a circle free by hand and have this blank behind with a little shadow effect, and then just put a flag behind it. You know, 2 eyes, maybe some extra effect, and that's all you need to know in terms of the actual country balls. I'd rather you not copy mine, so, you know, make your own. That's what I'm trying to say. So now, what you're going to want to do is just get a good size font, any font really as well, and just type in, of course, a lot of analytics go into the scoreline as well, into at least these 2022, 2026, but further ahead, of course, you can't. But for now, I'm just going to write, it doesn't matter, Croatia, 3-3, Serbia. Just doesn't matter which color, it should probably be a color that goes with the whole team of the World Cup, so it, again, depending on the World Cup and depending on how you make the theme, that's all up to you. So, you have your scoreline at the top, so all you're going to want to do now is click Add Layer, copy one of the country balls, and you have a country ball on this page. It doesn't matter exactly how it looks, I'm just doing this as a quick example. So for example, I normally take this, put it onto brush size 10 and put it just, it really doesn't matter. Just that's all you really have to do. So that's this Croatian country ball. Then you'd want to take the other one, so in this case the Serbian country ball, then I take, put it here, just make them seem like they're jumping or they're doing some sort of football. Just, you know, have a little speed effect. Now what you can also have is just always add in, just like a football for example, just to make it seem like they're actually going towards a football. Or you can always just add a goal, just have that in behind them, and that's the basic version of this. Now what I've been doing more recently is I've been taking images and I've been using the lasso tool, so you just go around. I'm not very accurate with this, just to make it seem like there actually is some sky behind them, just to make the whole image look nicer. And then you just copy that, paste it in behind them, and there you go. I'd personally take away the goal now, just to make it look better, but there you have it. That's the better looking version of this. So then, all you do is just merge the layers, and you have your scene. Now what you're gonna have to do is make a scene for every single match. So for all 4 teams through the 8 groups, and then all the knockout rounds. So what you can also do here is just, you know, write it on their actual language, you know, write something like good game or great going or etc, etc. It doesn't really matter. What I do is just go onto Google Translate, type something, and write it in their native language. Just because then everyone kind of feels included. You don't have to do this. Write it on English, write it on Spanish, write it whatever you want. What I will say though is be careful with Google Translate. It doesn't always come out correct, so just stick to kind of easier phrases, and don't try to do like phrases in English. Don't try to like translate them into something else. So, you know, it's a touchy subject, but try your best, obviously. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong. Someone in the comments will tell you, trust me. Later in the knockout rounds, you're of course just going to make a bracket, so I'm just using the one here that I actually had made for the 2022 World Cup on my YouTube channel. Go check that out if you haven't. And all you're going to get is just a simple bracket. Just put in the country balls next to them, just put in their names, and just as you go further at every round, so around the 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. That's all you have to do. So for other parts of the video, which I haven't mentioned, but, you know, for example, like the start, you know, you have the qualified teams, disclaimer, and okay, that was just a random thumbnail. So you have all the qualified teams, you all list them, you know, from Europe, Asia, South America, Africa, and North America. And then you have the pots, you just tell people what the pots are, and that's basically it for the start of the video before the video actually starts. What I always do is make a little nice scene of all the contestants in one group just before the group actually starts. All you have to do is just add in like a graphic background or anything, just write the names and add the country balls next to them. On the final standings table, what I've done recently is just gotten an outline and just put in the groups, you know, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and just put in the standings, the country balls, so points, win, draw, lose, goals forward, goals against, so the goals that they scored and the goals that they conceded, and then the difference in those two numbers. This I think looks much better than it did before. For example, this is what I used in the 2022 World Cup. It's a little messy and it's a little hard to read. Now, one thing that I accidentally did was put every winner of a group into every second match. So if, for example, someone from the runner-up from a different group, they just play the same match that they already did in the group stage, which is obviously incorrect. So if you're ever just confused, just go back on the Wikipedia page, look at how it's all layered out, look at maybe 2018 World Cup and how that all went through, and that's it. Then of course at the end of the video I just made a little graphic of, you know, who was first, second and third. These pictures got better and my whole country balls got better as they went on, so the 2070 is probably the best one because it's the most recent and I have the most experience. Don't worry if yours doesn't look good. My first one didn't look good either, so it's okay. Just takes practice. So, the last and final step, putting it all together. So what I have a program called DaVinci Resolve. That's my video editor. You don't need to use this, you can use anything. So as long as you can put things together and make it look good. So what you're going to want to do is just drag all your slides into here. So your thumbnail, your pre-scene, your actual matches, the results, so forth, the knockout rounds, all the way to the end. Now I only have 2 slides here, it's simply an example. So all you're going to want to do is just drag it into a timeline, just have 1 and 2, and you have your 2 matches side by side. So then all you're going to want to do, or at least what I do, is go down, I go to cross dissolve, and then I just have that, put that in the middle, just so it looks nice, a nice little transition, and that's it. Then of course you'd maybe just have a thumbnail and your outro, but I don't really think I need to tell you that. I don't think I need to tell you how to make this is not a video about making an outro. That could maybe be another video if you want. Then, when you're done, when you put in all your slides, now of course it's not going to equal to 15 seconds, it's probably going to equal about 9 or 10 minutes. It's not easy, this isn't easy. It does take a while, especially planning and everything. You've seen how long it took just to explain it. Then all you're going to want to do is click deliver, type it in, type whatever, Countryballs 2022, or 2022. And all you're going to want to do is just put it into MP4 and just going to want to click add to render queue. It's going to put it in the queue, you're going to start the render, and you're going to make the video. Now, because this is a video of just slides, you don't need a that good of a processor, but it is 10 minutes, so be careful. Now, one thing that I did forget to mention was the background music. So my favorite website is Incompetech. It's a website by Kevin MacLeod. You know, it has completely copyright-free music. You can have cinematic, experimental, contemporary, whatever music you want for your Countryballs video. I also use this for my alternate future of Europe and a lot of other videos, so you can just use whatever you want. Of course, you have to just link it in the description, and that's it. Yeah. And then that's it. You've made your video. You can now upload to YouTube. Upload your video, get your views. I hope I don't have to take you through the process of actually uploading your video. I'm guessing I don't, right? So now you can upload your video and get tons of views. Now, I won't even be in your way that much anymore. I've uploaded so many of these videos that I don't think that I can upload many more. So you're gonna see more videos like this from now on. You'll get to see me. So you're gonna see more videos like this. Hope you don't mind. So, I hope you enjoyed watching this type of video. I hope that you'll continue to watch this channel. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Vidimo se.